Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, and I got a question for you. Are you familiar with the phrase plundering the Egyptians? It's an old idiom. It refers to when God commanded the Israelites who were enslaved to Pharaoh to basically take the treasures of Egypt with them for the sake of their freedom. I got to say, when I first came across our guest today, that's the first phrase I thought of. He's a master at plundering the Egyptians for freedom and prosperity, taking what the elites meant for enslavement and control and turning it into opportunity for freedom for everyday Americans. And he's going to show you exactly how you can do it too. My guest today is Ross Givens. Now, some of you, if you're a regular to this channel, you already know him and love him. Ross is a former vice president of investment management at JP Morgan Chase. He's been trading stocks he's getting up there now for about 20 years and teaching clients how to trade their own money for almost a decade. He's also one of the nation's leading experts on insider trading, and he runs a wildly successful service called the Insider Effect, which tracks where corporate and political insiders are putting their own money. His system has never had a losing year. Obviously, I doubt you would, right? It's had annual returns as high as 300%. And many of his followers have made huge profits by tracking the same kind of insider trades that move markets every single day. And gang, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but Ross is hosting a special event for my audience showing you how to legally follow insider money and potentially profit just like the political elites do. It's completely free to attend. The link's right down below. So if you want to grab your spot early, do that right now. But before we dive into that, Ross, I do understand you got some breaking news for us today. Something big just dropped that's shaking the markets and has
Yeah.
your insider radar going off. What's going on, my friend?
Well, good to see you, Dr. Steve. Yeah, this is a wild one here because typically, with the inside, like when these politicians and Pelosi and them buy stocks, we can see exactly what they're buying, right? And that's because there's regulation in the equity market. In the crypto market, it's a little more blurry. So a lot of people, especially your Bitcoin holders out there, probably saw the big crypto crash a couple of weeks ago where Trump put the big 100% tariffs on China back on October the 10th. Um, but here's the crazy thing, and I like to track the money. The big sell-off came when Trump made that post of putting 100% tariffs on China. Obviously, it's going to crash the markets and crash cryptocurrencies. 30 minutes before that post went live, a whale on the crypto derivatives exchange Hyperliquid opened massive short positions. They're betting billions that markets tied to China would tank. And of course, the crypto market along with it. Within hours, that post hits, markets tumble. By the end of the day, that account walks away with a $192 million profit in a day.
And we don't know who this person is.
We don't know exactly who it is. It's odd. Now, listen, I don't think it's Trump or anyone in the Trump family, but it does seem to be someone who has an in, right? At it with it, either with this administration or knows somebody who knows somebody, because it's even like you go down the rabbit hole. These accounts, these massive, like $100 million accounts, were created that morning. The funds come in, place the trades, make almost 200 million. Money gets withdrawn, like all in a day.
Right.
And so, 2 days later, Trump obviously changed his position. He softened his stance on China, as you know. Market regains faith, crypto kind of comes back, but it really looks to me like somebody got tipped off. I mean, you're talking about a short bet is when you're betting on something to go lower. Somebody's betting like $1 billion on this thing. They do it 30 minutes before this announcement that causes the biggest drop in crypto prices in years. And then whoop, the money's gone, disappears, floats off. There's a lot of memes going out there joking as Barron Trump behind the trade. Right?
I saw that. It was Barron.
Yeah, yes, 19-year-old kid doing it. But no, it does appear to be manipulation, right? It does appear some powerful players. And look, if you're wandering the halls of the White House, or you're dating an intern who overheard something and you tip off your hedge fund buddy or whatever, I mean, these are intelligent people.
And that's what the memes are pointing out about Barron. It had to be somebody with privileged information on the inside, right?
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to believe that President Trump goes and consulted his 19-year-old before
No,
posting about
right, right. It's
China,
just the
right? I
point,
mean,
right?
that's what
Exactly,
they're getting
exactly.
at, but, like, it
Yeah,
takes so
yeah,
little. I mean, you've
yeah,
got somebody
yeah.
positioned early who puts all this money in, who times it so very, very well, and, again, look, it could be a Republican, it could be a Democrat, it could be somebody else nothing to
Right.
do with politics, but the odds of this being coincidental just seems so minute. I mean, it's about the same as the odds that Pelosi's trades were coincidental, or that all these members of Congress beat the market, right? It's and
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
it, this is where it's tough to prove. Normally, I come with the receipts. Here's who bought this. Here's who did that.
yeah,
Crypto,
yeah.
offshore exchanges, digital wallet. There's just no oversight there.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, I was always listening for the Pelosi in there. I know because you and I have had several conversations about how egregious Nancy Pelosi is in insider trading.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that because again, you've been exposing Pelosi's trades for a long time now.
Yeah, and listen, she and a lot of others have been doing this for a long time. Pelosi's really good at we call front running policy moves, right? So the government's going to get a big defense contract to some weapons manufacturer. She's out putting millions in the stock the week before. She got into
Right.
Nvidia $1 million leveraged option bet a week before the government gives 50 billion to the semiconductor stock.
Yeah.
She is one of the worst defenders out there. And look, based on the reports, I mean, what we're seeing, her annualized return the last few years is like 60, 70%, like per year. That's better than
Right.
Buffett and Soros and Lynch and like all the best have ever been. It's just not possible to perform that well any more than it is possible to suddenly decide to take a massive $1 billion bet that the largest cryptocurrency in the world is going to tank, cash out that afternoon. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I've shown you this image before. This is the returns of congressmen in
Right.
2024. And this is not an isolated issue.
Yeah.
It's not one person, it's not one party. It's an
Right.
epidemic.
Right, right. Yeah, and but like you're saying, both sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat. It's a business model, as we've talked about so many times. Do you mind breaking this down for us a bit? So I'll admit, especially with our new folks meeting you for the
Oh,
first
sure.
time on the channel, what exactly is insider trading? Who does it, and how does it work?
Yeah, so sorry, I just jumped in the deep end, didn't I? So, all right, so the technical definition, insider trading, is it means you're buying or selling a stock based on material, non-public information. So, like a basic example would be a pharmaceutical company is about to get FDA approval for some new drug that cures cancer, treats baldness, whatever, right? When that becomes public, the stock is going to skyrocket because they're about to
Right,
make billions. Now,
right,
if you knew that before it went public and you went out and bought all the stock up really, on the cheap, you make a fortune when it comes out. That is a technical
right,
definition of insider trading, using
right.
private, non-public information to profit from. Now, who does it? Pretty much everybody in DC. I mean, there's obviously exceptions, but politicians have been historically some of the worst. It really
Yeah.
came to light during COVID, when the market tanked
Yes.
there. These guys are all briefed on COVID. They knew they were going to
Yeah.
shut down the economy. They knew about
Right.
how bad it was in China before we did, right? They knew all this stuff. Well, it
Right.
turns out we
Right.
go back and look, a bunch of them dumped millions of dollars worth of stock. They cashed out of the market like a month
Right.
before all this stuff takes place. They saved themselves a big hit. Um,
Right.
and got out of the way of it. The other side, the stuff we follow, is people trying to profit. People getting
Yeah.
into these little tiny defense contracting stocks out of nowhere, or like Pelosi bought that little Tempest AI stock back in January, and it doubles in like 30 days. So that's the kind of stuff we're watching for. And like you said, we're just trying to show people how to level the playing field, right? Just trying to
But
get this information in front of others.
don't this is the part that I don't get, but I think I'm getting more the more I talk with you on. How are these people not getting prosecuted for this, right? You would think if they were engaged in this level of privileged information that they can use by virtue of the power of their office and they're profiting off of that's something that they would get prosecuted for.
Yeah, you would think so. That would be a rational a rational thought. Unfortunately, that is not usually how it plays out, and it's twofold. One is the fact that they write the laws.
Yeah.
It's their honey hole. They've got to basically condemn
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
The other is it's just set up in a way that it's like Congress was everything. They kind of set up these laws and then they grandfathered himself out of it, just like Obamacare. They weren't under it. So they passed this big smoke and mirror show. They passed something called the Stock Act about 12, 13 years ago. And the goal was to stop insider trading. But all it really did was make them report their trades publicly. And
Right.
that's what we follow, right? They have like 30, 45 days to get a report, and it doesn't actually do anything when it comes to penalizing them. And there's a representative, his name slipped my mind right now, Mike something. They just did like a 3-year
I
investigation.
Yeah, I know you actually you were on the show talking about it several months back. I remember that. This
Yeah,
is a guy who just got the little slap on the wrist, right, at the end of
exactly.
it all.
Because yeah, it was a
Yeah, yeah.
3-year ethics investigation. I mean, it comes to the conclusion. Yes, he took advantage of information. He like bought up this stock that was in his district after he got all these tariffs passed by the White House to protect this company. His wife buys up all the stock. And hidden deep within the Stock Act is the fine for violating it, which is a $200 penalty. So
I
Pelosi
remember
makes
that
$1 million a clip.
exactly.
She's not overly worried about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with a little $200 slap on the wrist. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I know you everything you're saying makes sense when I mean, this is all part of how DC has become a business model. This is
that's
what
right.
it's all about. You're always going to create law in such a way that is going to benefit the law creators, right?
That's right.
Yeah, but what I love, and again, going back to this plundering the Egyptians idea, the coolest thing about what you're doing is you're going to be hosting a training session absolutely free,
Yeah.
showing how we just ordinary Americans can actually tap into a little known, I did not know about this until I met you, a little known SEC loophole
Yeah.
that's led your clients to massive stock gains. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but for now, if you want to sneak peek, gang, just click the link below in the description. You're going to absolutely love this free training. Ross has done how many of them now for us, Ross? Like 30 or so? I mean, it's just,
I don't know if it's that many, but yeah, we've done a lot. Every couple of months we've been trying to do one. They've just kind of blown up and
yeah,
it's really the thing is it's common sense, right? And anytime I get on and talk to somebody about it, because I've become kind of the go-to person with insider trading. I don't know if it's good or bad. But they're like, oh, I'm like, all right, yeah, it's not fun. It's not fair they can do this.
you're
But
the
like,
go-to guy for pillaging the Egyptians. That's a good thing, man.
well, I'm trying to empower the Egyptians to get the same profits, right? And
Right,
that's the big silver lining in all of this.
right.
Both the
The
politicians,
Israelites. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but also the corporate insiders. People
yeah,
don't realize when the
yeah.
CEO of Coca-Cola starts putting millions in his stock out of
Right,
nowhere, you can see it. When
right,
half the board of directors of this little $2 pharmaceutical stock are loading the boat the week before drug trial results come out, you can see it. Like you
right.
can follow along. And so we use it's this crazy investment philosophy. It's called common sense. And it works like this. If all the people who know more than you
Yeah,
are all buying, probably a good time.
yeah,
If all the people are selling,
yeah,
probably not a good time. I
right.
know that's very complicated for some of my Wall Street colleagues to wrap their head around because it doesn't talk about PE ratios and inventory turnover
Right,
and the
right,
risk-free
right,
rate, but
right.
that's essentially our strategy. And like you said, we've never had a down year. We've beat the market every single year. Not because I'm any, 40-year-old Warren Buffett, because I'm following people who know for a fact. I mean, the
Right,
politicians know when they're going to pass some big piece of legislation that hands billions of dollars over here. They know about
right,
government contracts, et cetera. CEOs and chief financial officers and board members know about mergers and acquisitions and earnings beats and drug trials and everything in between. And again, it's all public information. We can see
right.
politicians trade inside of 30 days. We can see corporate insider trades usually the very next day. So, like they're buying
Oh,
on
yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
So
And
within
so
48 hours or yeah,
exactly. You've been to the
yeah.
training session. You remembered. Good. Uh, So, all we're doing is looking for these ones that just, there's 8,000 stocks. We're
Right.
looking for 4 or 5 examples every month where it's just
Right.
blatantly obvious.
Right.
7, 8, 9 of the top executives are putting hundreds of thousands or millions in the stock. None of them have bought for 3 or 4 years. There's some big piece of it's just obvious,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not guaranteed. I'm not saying every
Of
trade's gonna
course not.
work
Yeah.
out, but,
Yeah. Of course not.
we've had stocks that doubled and tripled, and
Yeah.
we had one that went up 20-fold off this stuff,
Wow.
and
Dang, man.
so we're
Wow.
just following the money. We're following the paper trail, and, that's what we do these
Yeah.
training sessions for, to show people, as you know, how to do the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I always like think of it. You're when all is said and done, you're riding coattails, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just nice and simple. You're legally and ethically riding their coattails using public data to follow insider moves in real time, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like we bought a little pharmaceutical stock in 2022 in the middle of the bear market. Like, why they all bought? I mean, they all were piling out of nowhere. We bought this stock, and it doesn't do anything for like a month, 2 months. Then what do you know? GlaxoSmithKline buys them out at like a 90% premium. Stock
Wow.
goes up 78% like overnight in this awful market, and we cash out. Why? Because we're award-winning stock analysts? No, because the CEO and the CFO and the board and the VPs all tip their hat to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just really common sense stuff. And I think people who are not taking advantage of this are leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
I think they're giving up what is their biggest edge in creating a level playing field. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I just love the way you're doing. I love how you turn this all around in a sense on them so that we get to profit off of their very own strategies. But we're not in corrupt DC. Nobody's bribing us with it or anything like that.
Yeah.
So this insider strategy works in our favor. One of the few things that does, right? You are
Mhm.
literally plundering the Egyptians. And you're hosting a free webinar on this very soon. Can you tell us about what people can expect if they register?
Yeah, so it's this coming Wednesday. It is October the 29th. It's gonna be three
Mhm.
o'clock Eastern. As you said, it's online. It's 100% free. We do these every couple of months. Been doing them for a couple of years with your members, your viewers, excuse me. Had a lot of ton of great feedback from people. And we're just gonna go step by step through this. You don't need any investing experience. It's not something overly complicated, as I hope you've picked up listening to me for the last 15 minutes, but it's
Yeah.
about an hour-long training. I walk people through everything: the SEC website where these trades are posted, how to find the political stocks, what to scan for, what our best winners have had in common, things to look out for.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to give people an advantage and a strategy that makes sense. And most people leave looking at the investment world and looking at stocks very differently. And
Yes.
that's our goal.
Yeah.
It just showed them how to do that and what we've done to do so well the last 7 or 8 years.
It's awesome. Completely free for everyone to attend and the like. I mean, it's amazing. And it's about an hour long, hour and a half or so.
Yeah, we usually clip it
Yeah.
at an hour. 45 minutes to an
Yeah.
hour is usually
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it's an hour well spent for sure, and you don't want to miss this. Click the link below to register. Seating is limited, as I understand it, and I'll see you at the webinar with
Awesome.
Roth. Yeah, Wednesday, October 29th. This is neat. Normally, I think you've done them on Thursdays, so I have to make sure I get put that on my calendar. It's on
I got
Wednesday.
2 young kids. Now they're in sports, Dr. Steve. I got to move some things around these days.
There you go. Good for you. That's right. Living your best life, man. Ross, you're the best. Keep plundering those Egyptians. It is absolutely awesome.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Steve. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And again, gang, make sure you click on that link below. Ross's free trainings do fill up fast. I see it all the time. So you don't want to, I think there's a limit to the webinar software that he uses. So don't wait. Click on the link below. Register today for this amazing free training. Just an hour on Wednesday, October 29th, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there. I think you're going to absolutely love it. Thanks again, Ross.
Thanks.